why. I didn't get,
6.
it fell right after I walked around.
I'll call this meeting of the November 8th, 2021, Carroll County Public Service Authority to order. At this time, we'll ask you to rise and we'll do the invocation and a pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessings you bestowed upon us. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Thank you for the health and strength that you've given us, and continue to watch over us and bless us. Be with us as we conduct business today for the citizens of Carroll County. And I ask all this in your precious and holy name. Amen.
Yep.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of
of
the
the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, at this time, I'd like to amend the agenda to add a closed session after old business, and moving down on the agenda is citizens' time, and this time we have Sammy Carpenter wants to speak.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering about the water on 100. Have y'all got any future plans to bringing it from Sylvatus up the mountain there? You know where Betty Baker's truck stop?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Lewises and all the families out through there, we're always wanting water there, and was wondering when would y'all plan of bringing a line up, or if you're planning, because I've got to want to either dig a well there or in the process of rebuilding the one that's there if it's any count. And I don't want to invest that kind of money and then 2 or 3 years, whatever, is y'all come through and condemn it anyway because it'll be so close to the road.
And that's right there on top of the hill?
Yeah.
Right above the old school?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's up the old Betty Baker's truck stop up there where I've been rebuilding it.
Where does that line run? I thought we were,
Right here.
It comes
we're down at the bottom of the hill, I know, but
We're here and we're.
You live close to where the Lewises live.
okay, so it's not right through.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lewises, we started a year or so ago, trying to get water up there. They actually bought a fire truck to haul water up to their house. The water's so bad up through there.
Okay.
And the Richardsons, and he's about from the bottom of the hill up, about 7 houses up through there.
Okay.
And what I was with county, I've got property there too. I've been talking to them. I've got an engineer. We was talking about a loop where if anything happened on 52, the water supply for that county end of the county wouldn't be none. If we could tie in with y'all at Greenbrier Road, there's a dead end there, and there's a dead end there in Sylvatus too. So if we could tie them together, we could have water going both ways, either off from 52 or 100. If anybody has any problem, you could bow it off from one end, feed back to this end from Carroll down to With, or vice
I'll
versa.
work that.
And this is the engineer. That's Johnny Kincher and that.
Oh, Don.
They agreed to kindly work with me. I give them a right of way when they come down Castleton Road to get to 100 to go to Lone Ash over there. And I tried to get them, they said they put a T in there at 100 so they could go up that way.
This is when they were talking
So-
about regional water and talking expanded.
And I've been trying to get them to
This is up
finish the line,
stuff.
either join in with y'all up at Greenbrier and finish that loop so you could flee both ways or whatever. But it really hadn't got a decision on it, whether and he always saying, we'll see what Carroll County wants to do, or we'll see what West County wants Carroll say. So I thought I'd talk to both of you, and maybe we could get some way of joining them loops together and getting water the rest of the way up 100 and even to the top of the hill up here at Sylvatus. And
Do we have any water lines on Little Vine?
We do. See, that's where we connect.
Where it comes out down there, it comes all the way down there to the Ruralton building, doesn't it?
mhm.
But we
Did
don't
we go
have it,
back around
we don't
the
have it
other
up 100 from there.
Right.
Up to Deer, where you go out Deer Ridge out there.
So that ain't, but what's that, half a mile,
Mile.
quarter of a mile?
Mile, anyway.
Ain't far, is it?
It ain't far.
About a
no,
mile.
sir. And even where your deadline is, coming to
From here to there.
Greenbrier, coming around that way, to where they can join in at Patterson's. Well, Johnny, he looked it up. It was like 3,500 some feet to join that together, so you could feed both ways. You could feed Carroll from With or Buzz, whatever. If you have a break on 52, does always the line come from Austonsville that feeds into Carroll County too? Comes down 52?
Yeah.
Well, you got a water tank up there on top of the hill up there. It'd be perfect to feed right straight on through all the way that end of the county if we could get that joined together. And that way, if there's ever a break on 52 or anywhere, you'll have a way to alternate course to feed the water. Nobody be without or whatever.
Good deal. Does anybody have any more questions or anything to add? We'll have Dana and them look at it and see, if it's something we could take up?
How many houses is it?
I think there's 7 up through there. I know the Lewis.
Right up 100.
Of 100, on the With County side, there's probably 5, I guess, 4 or 5 up through there. They start right there at the crossroads at Patterson, Castleton Road. They ended right there. I wasn't gonna give them a right of way till they promised me they would put a T in over there and in 2 years take a line on up 100. I own property up 100 through
How
there.
many feet is it, Mike?
About 5,000.
Mile length.
When we did the regional project, we tried to extend in that area. I don't know if Rex might have been on the board at the time, do you remember? When we tried to connect that there in rural development, did not give us the funding because there wasn't enough customers for the amount of line that we.
Yeah, but we talking about now further than $1 trillion that they're giving away for expansions and stuff from president. We ought to be able to swing a little bit of money out of that to finish our water line, shouldn't we?
Well, that's only one direction. That's not connecting all the way through. You're about 5,000 feet from where it ties on to regional, just to the property that you're looking for. And then you're looking at approximately, I'm measuring it out right now, to connect, you're about 7,500 more, about a mile and a half more. So you're looking at, if you was to run the loop, you're looking about 2.5 miles.
And if we're gonna do it, we need to do the loop, because that way you ain't got no water hammer in it.
So the closest place is gonna be Terman's that's got water
It's
on the hill,
just up a little bit further than Terman's.
right at the intersection of Deer Ridge.
Yeah, that we got that one house there, Sheldon Beasley's house.
Yep.
It's served, that's the last.
This is 6 or 8 all the way to there.
6-inch, I think. Hang on a second, I'll tell you for sure. It's a 6-inch coming from the regional side.
'Cause I thought they put
Check
meters.
Terman's.
And I think she was interested at one point,
That's only
developing
2-inch
that
right
right
there. This is showing 2-inch right here. You'd have to
That's
come
what I
on.
thought, is that it would go back to the intersection because what usually was served off of was 2.
Go back to Mitchell's Crossroad intersection or Deer Ridge intersection.
Like you're going
The Doug's Spur.
RJ, what's, not double cabin, but what's that, Deer Ridge?
Deer Ridge.
Yeah.
Deer Ridge.
So it's
First,
the first one
yeah.
up top of the hill up there.
Mhm.
Well, I thought Terman's, I thought they put in the
He doesn't have it right there.
On up.
shoot,
He owns a little piece of property down at the end of it.
fire hydrants. I thought they bought fire hydrants put in there.
They did over here.
Yeah.
Over
but
here.
Not over.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. All right.
We had so much trouble over there, they put a whole lot full of fire hydrants on.
So it was there, not over here. Got you.
The water's so bad down there on top of that hill with iron water. And I think she brought a sample, maybe didn't show y'all at one time. Where she bought a 4 jar and it had that iron settlement that much in the bottom of it. So it's even the wells down there, I'm not sure that if I dug one, it would be any count.
What about down in Sylvania? Are they good water down there?
I really don't know. I presume they are. They've had water down there at that community center for years, didn't they?
I think it's county water, isn't it?
It's county water now.
Yeah.
It was before.
Hmm.
I guess they had a well there.
Probably at school.
And the school, yeah, they had a well. I know they got a well. You can see it on the road.
Hmm.
There it was. So just on top of that hill, I guess, where the bad water is, all the way through there.
Well, let us look at it, see what
Yep.
we can do.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on. Next thing on the agenda is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve we can do them section A, B, or C, or all 3 of them?
Make a motion to approve all 3 of them.
I have a motion to
Second.
A, B, and C. I have a second. Are there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll start the voting with Mr. Jessup,
Yes.
Mr. McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Dr. Littrell,
Yes.
and I vote yes. So it passes. Next is new business, utility grant.
In your package, you should have a letter showing that we received $31,289.95 to help cover the people that couldn't afford to make their water bill. So what we'll do is we'll mark the bills paid, so that you'll see an extra 31 and some change of revenue for paying the past due bills. That's a grant that we received through Virginia Department of Health, I believe. Oh, it might have been DHCD. I haven't looked.
Are you going to speak of the public notice as well, or are you not?
Yeah, I can go on down through them if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, it's DHCD is the one that gave us the grant for 31,289.55. And the second item we have here is the public notice. We had some testing that was done, and we were right at the limit of sodium concentration. Well, Mount Rogers Health District has asked us to notify all the customers within that area of the rise in the sodium concentration. I think the standard exception. Okay, we did exceed it. So the sodium concentration of 24.5 milligrams per liter in the water exceeds the 20 milligrams per liter concentration set for people with a strict sodium diet. So we will be sending out notifications to those areas, letting people know that the sodium level's high.
Is that naturally occurring, or is that something that's been added?
I'm not exactly sure. We seem to think it could be from the use of road salt and other things, but
We do this particular test annually, and we haven't had to give notice before. I mean, Health Department doesn't require us to do anything at 24.5, and we were at 20, but Mount Rogers would like for us to send out a notice because folks that's on a strict sodium diet need to know that.
Well, what area is it?
Cana?
Does that mean, I mean, looking back in the past, what's the rates back then? Or the amounts?
we were under the limit more than
Yeah,
this.
we've never had to give notice.
So it's kind of odd that
Our water operator's been researching it some, and what he finds one of the most common things is runoff from road salt. You know, like when they treat the roads, can come from besides, you know, common things, but I don't know what.
is it
You
limited?
look like it would been tested lately. Has it been
Yeah,
tested?
lately, so you would think.
So you would think it wouldn't be, no.
So evidently it's close to one specific well, or do we know that?
No, it can't be.
We,
All our wells should be sealed. All our wells has to be sealed.
Well, how's it getting in the system?
Well, I don't know.
we don't know either.
Guess you just have to wait until the next testing to see if it's still at that level.
We check each well. I mean, how many wells we got down there? 2, 3?
We got one,
About
two,
6.
three.
Six.
Yeah, we got 6. There's some of them we're not using. We use 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8 is what we're using currently.
And each one of those was tested.
Well, this showed up when we did THAs and THMs and the THAAs is when this showed up. It's a test we just do once a year.
They just go somewhere and open a water spigot and get it, or what?
I'm not sure where they pull that one from. I'd say they pull it from inside the well.
Well, most of them are took
The well.
inside the well house.
Because you know, if it's those, they're usually at the well house.
Are the wells anywhere near roads? that might have salt treatment?
The one, the one on Bear Trail and the one over at the school. At St. Paul, it's right beside the road.
I bet it's the one over to school, because they use more salt around there than anywhere else.
I mean, that could not be what it is, that's just, we were trying to
mean-
research, we're not saying that's
Yeah.
what it was at all.
But think of how you'd have to get an awful lot of,
Yeah,
because you're drawing from so deep.
Unless one well's come unsealed somewhere. The wells are supposed to be grouted in, then a slab poured around the top of them for it to be a commercial well.
but still, how much down there are they
60
salt and
feet
stuff
too,
on the
right?
roads?
Huh?
Dana.
Not as
With this
much
new
as
brine,
here,
the
I'm saying.
brine stuff they're using, you
Yeah,
wonder about.
true, yeah.
Well, all we can do is just wait, right, till the next test.
But, you know, so you all know we will be mailing a notice out.
What's it cost to test? Just for that? I mean, that's a combination of tests that we.
Two.
Two common. Might be beneficial to check each and every well or every connection, maybe eliminate where it comes from.
Up here is quarter of
Anybody else test it besides them?
sorry,
Can anybody else test each well individual,
besides,
so we know which well's doing this?
I guess we can.
Well, some way we're gonna know.
Yeah, we should try to eliminate several wells. We might could limit to one. I don't know.
What do you wanna do, Mr. Director?
We can send some testing, try to test each one individually and see if there's a reason. I sort of feel like it's going to work its way out in time, but we can have a test run. Let you know.
The only thing worries me is if it don't work its way out, it gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
But it's summertime now.
When was the test taken? Back,
The
Oh, my.
last quarter
I can look it up probably.
would have been in,
September.
probably in June, July, August, September, had been in that time period in there. I mean, I'm sure Jeff's got the exact date it was taken.
what's those tests cost? Was it,
I'd have to look and see what it is.
How many wells are we using? 3?
No, we used 2, 3,
I have it.
7, and 8.
it wasn't too expensive. I wouldn't mind testing each well to know. You know, we might be able to find the source of where it's coming from. May not have anything to do with what we're doing. Somebody else may be doing something we don't know.
I mean, we don't know, that was just pulling at straw, you know, because we hadn't had this before, he was just researching it. And that was a common thing that was out there.
Do y'all recommend waiting a while or?
Yeah, let's wait until at least see what it costs on there.
If it's not too expensive, we'll just go ahead and
Yeah.
have it done.
Regional well. Discussion.
Okay, we received notice that we had 3 wells that we were needing to test. Went to inspect them, can't get samples from them right now. Various things. One of them, the line's rusted, one's completely disconnected. I think 2 of them we get the motor to work on. So we're going to go ahead and sample those 2, but we might be looking at taking one of them offline. I just want to give you a short update today. I'll get you some more information and let you know how we go. Just let you know that there is some concerns. They're not the only ones out there in the system, so. Trying to see which ones.
We're there for on top of the mountain.
One was beside Mohawk. One is, I remember what they look like. Remember which 2 other? I think so. But just give you an update, letting you know that we had 3 wells that we're looking at. They're supposed to be online, but 2 of them were probably without a whole lot of cost be able to do the testing on them and keep them. We're going through the process, hopefully, to start evaluating the cost to operate, determine whether or not we should be buying more water or feeding from the wells. And there's a few of them that we have to keep just because we have to circulate the water and add chlorine. So just to let you know, we're going through and evaluating them.
Is that all in new business?
That's all I had.
Okay. You going to do project updates?
Yes, let me find my list. All right. We did do some checking. The last meeting, Mr. Jessup, I think you mentioned about connecting into, I'm trying to think of the name of the road, to connect on to Hillsville in order, in case you had a fire. From my understanding, it's about 14,000 feet. That sound about right?
Yeah.
We're evaluating the cost. I guess one of the questions I had, and I probably should have done it before this meeting, is it just in order for us to be able to supply water to the Hillsville system?
There ain't no reason we can't sell on it too. The house is all the way from down through there.
Okay. Well, we can look at the cost on that. Right now, the estimates are on 8-inch. And what it is, I'm waiting for Hillsville. I'm wanting to get their water, their GIS, so that we can look at the side of the line they have and those type things. You're looking at about $100 square foot on 8-inch. I mean, $100 a linear foot for water. That's meters, valves, the whole 9 yards, and about $90 on 6-inch. So calculating out the cost, we'll bring it back to you, see what it is.
Sure.
If we'll look at the number of customers you have also.
See, we could put it down to them, hook to them, and just put a valve in there, and then if they need it, turn it on.
Well, and I'm still doing some checking on it, but I think that we can sell water to Hillsville if they ever need it. Like say if they had a problem with the tank or something like that. There's a connection I'm wanting to sell out exit 14 somewhere that we could actually provide them water if there's ever an emergency. So we're going to make sure that connection's still good. So if we ever have to, we run a situation where we run them dry, instead of turning them off, we might be able to push water through. I just want to verify to make sure that's what we was talking about, but we'll bring back some more information and so we can do it.
Have you approached them?
Hillsville, I mentioned Red had reached out to me and about trying to talk about these connections. I was doing a little checking to make sure that we had, and I was just trying to figure out, are we looking to add new customers, or are we looking to be able to provide?
We can do both.
Yeah. Just
There'll be several houses from Mr. Bryant, or where Gary's livestock thing is out there.
I think I'll bring it back to you.
All right.
We looked at the number of customers. I was thinking there's 50, right at 50 customers down through there. So, but we'll bring it back to you. We'll put it out, find out what it is. Other than that, you have the daily notices that we have. Still working through some issues. We've had some issues over the last several months on readings, doing water meter readings. We're trying to tighten that up. We did receive a quote on installing those meters at Blueberry. Might be something we want to try to do in-house. You're looking at sizable expense. One of the issues we have right now is just the manpower to do it. You know, just a rough guess, it's going to cost you approximately $30,000 in labor to hire somebody else out to do it, to do those meter connections. So we're going to evaluate to see how long it takes to get in there. If this board wants us to go ahead and do it, then you're looking at that plus.
I think you already got a motion to do it.
That's about $50,000. So if the board wants to go ahead forward with it, then, and the decision has been made to do it, then we'll hire a contractor because we just don't have the time and within any time.
Payback time, what are we looking at?
You get it's about $6,000 a year, I think is what it was. I mean, I can do some rough calculations on it. It was,
It's in your area, isn't it, Dr. Tom?
I think so.
Will you make a call on it?
Well, we've already, like I said, we've already made the motion. I'll say go ahead on it.
We could do, nothing else, do an RFP, just send it out, see what it would cost.
Can we do that if we already have a contractor?
we've had a quote. We've asked her.
You can issue RFPs at any time,
Okay.
unless the contract is specifically for this project that's set forth in the contract.
That saves you a lot of work if we just do an RFP and let them come back and say, hey, it cost X, Y, and Z. I'm just throwing that out. It may or may not save you time. I don't know.
And we got the right-of-way problem cured, right? Mr. Lawyer, we got the right-of-way problem cured.
How many homes?
If we got water already in there, we've got a right-of-way, right?
It depends on what's in the public record, but if you've already got water installed, the implication is that you can grant it.
Okay. We need, Tracy.
It's just an update. We don't really need nothing if we
All right.
don't.
We'll do something else. But we need to start collecting money in there
Yeah.
the right way.
Yeah. I mean, we can have a motion to have Mike send it out to RFP.
What do you think, Mike? Don't be bashful. Go ahead and tell us.
I'd really like to do it in-house and save the funds, but it's still something I don't know when we're going to get to it. I was trying to do some quick calculations. You're looking at
See, that might tell us whether or not we could do, we may need to hire extra people.
well, it's about a $4,300 increase on revenue a year
Okay.
to do it. So you're looking at a 10-year return, a little bit over 10-year return before you start gathering money off of it. But more than that, 10, 15. Increase. And he's done, don't get me wrong. okay? It's just how quick and how long you want to do it.
How many are they?
18.
18?
They're paying a minimum now. That's 1,000 gallons. You're looking at probably 2.5, they're probably doing 3,500 gallons a month. Normal residential somewhere between 35 and 4,000, depends on whose house you're at. Mine's probably 6,000.
We
But-
have the equipment to do it, we just don't have the personnel to do it.
Can't keep
Correct.
caught up with, that's exactly right. I need more personnel.
So that may be something we should discuss. Or push through what, if you have, or you need 3 people to run well, you're gonna need 5, I guess, to work on it.
Problem is, right now, you're getting ready to get into winter time, too.
Yeah, you can't do it now, you have to do it in springtime, but.
So 3 people.
It might be, that may be the way to go, is hire people, next 6 months or whatever. I mean, that's come from y'all's recommendation. I'm sure it'd be cheaper, and we're gonna have to do maintenance as well.
Is that one of those projects that it's best to do it all at one time, or can you do it piece by piece as you have time and
Yeah.
equipment and personnel?
You can do them one at a time. There's a definite personnel need. We've got, we got, yeah.
Crazy how many we have working here.
11. How many we got now?
5 full-time.
Maybe if we hire people, we're gonna have to pull one of them to stay with them.
We really need helpers. We need somebody who can go out, everything from change out, just a simple change out of the meter. We've got quite a few industrial customers we need to change out. And then we're doing all these meter settings too. I think with the opportunity of providing more taps, I need to run the numbers to make sure. If we can push it off to the next meeting, I can give you a recommendation on the ability to hire.
That would work, that would give us an idea of that may be the way to go.
Is that all the updates?
That's all I got.
Okay, we'll move on to old business, exit 1. I guess you're back on the hot seat again.
Yeah, they're supposed to at toward the middle of this month, then the last couple of weeks of this month, pull the flow meter out. So after that, we should know a better idea of the rates that we're getting. That's about all you can say on that right now. We're still having issues with it. On Hillsville Sewer, we're supposed to be receiving the piece that we need. It's supposed to be in the 12th, 15th? 12th, if it comes in. Once we put that in there, we should be able to pressure test that line. And then once that's pressure tested, if everything works fine, then we'll work out some type of agreement and maybe start feeding water. I think we're okay to do, feeding sewer. And that's those 2 projects.
All right. Well, at this time, we'll go into closed session. If I could get a motion under 2.2-3711, discussion or consideration of the investment of public funds where competition or bargaining is involved, where it made public initially the financial interest of the government unit would be adversely affected.
So move.
All right, I have a motion to have a second. Motion and second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll start the voting with Mr. Jessup,
Yes.
Mr. McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Dr. Littrell,
Yes.
and I vote yes. You have a second?
Yes.
I'll start the voting with Mr. Jessup.
So what I need to say,
To come out of closed session.
Yes.
yes.
Mr. McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
and Dr. Littrell.
Yes.
And I vote yes. I'm gonna try to not to botch this up because it's got Board of Supervisors. So, whereas the Carroll County PSA Authority conveyed a closed session this date pursuant to the affirmative record vote and on the motion to close the meeting in accordance to the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, whereas Section 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Public Service Authority that such closed session was conducted in conformity in Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Carroll County PSA hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, the only business matters lawfully exempt from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act were heard, discussed, or considered in the closed session in which the certification applies, and only such business matters as were identified in the motion by which this closed session was conveyed were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting to which this certification applies. So at that time, we don't have to have a motion, we just certify, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I'll start the certification with Mr. Jessup.
So certified.
Mr. McCraw,
I say certify.
Mr. Hill,
So certified.
Dr. Littrell,
I so certified.
and I so certify. So moving down on the agenda is authority members' time. We'll start with Mr. Jessup.
The fire hydrant down at the firehouse we talked about. What did we find out there? We got more flow in the building than we have at that hydrant they put in or hooked up.
If, do what? It's because, when they had the problem with the line, instead of going underneath the creek, they put a 4-inch line. So you should have 4-inch flow.
Yeah, I know we have back there, but the same line tees off and goes in the building. We can load in there too. We got more water in the building than we have on the hydrant. There's timing loading the same truck the other day, and it'll load 2 minutes quicker in the building than it will outside.
Oh, I apologize. I thought that the issue was on the outside of the
No.
building, so it's on the inside.
No, it's on the outside. We got more water inside the building. We got places to load trucks on town and county inside the building. We was loading on the county the other day when we had the fire at Small Engine Place. And they was loading on the outside with 2 same tankers made identical. And the truck inside would be gone before they ever could get full on the outside.
What size line is this at the building from the,
Same line. So a valve's not open somewhere, the hydrant's not opening all the way one.
See, it should come under the creek, through the parking lot to that fire hydrant in the back of the building.
Yep.
Shouldn't go anywhere else other than,
No, it goes right on under around the side of the building and in the building. Same line.
same size as the,
Yeah.
So they're almost.
and the one inside loaded quicker.
Yeah. Probably 2 minutes quicker. And they called me and said, why ain't we get loading quicker? I said, I don't know. Load them inside and use the town too. And, load them quicker inside than we could on the outside. So they was loading the inside and then went to using the towns out front too.
It almost have to be the valve on the fire hydrant, wouldn't it?
Yes.
But it had to be the outside fire hydrant valve.
That's what I meant, yeah.
It's got to be the hydrant or the valve that feeds the hydrant, one or the other. And if that nursing home burns over there, we got to have it all. Because them the 2 closest hydrants. Because that's going to be ladder trucks then.
Hey, one up top of the hill, aren't they, too? Are there one up there next to the old Bassett Walker also?
Yeah, that's a long way.
They
I-
won up Harmon.
They one on the back of that nursing home over on the other
Harmon,
street.
on
Yeah.
Harmon, yeah.
But I'm afraid it's gonna be the same deal when we lay that far. I'll meet them down there if they wanna. Somebody just tell me when.
Okay, I'll get Jeff to meet you down there sometime.
Yeah, I apologize. I thought it was the,
See, we hadn't
Oh.
used it for a fire since they put it in.
the outside one or
The outside one, yeah.
okay.
But on a big fire, we try to use both systems with loading trucks. Because we had to haul water out there. There wasn't enough water out there.
All right.
Got anything else?
That's all I got.
All right.
Mr. McCraw?
I don't have anything other than just to thank you for the information. He gets that for us, and he does a good job at that. And the PSA workers, they seem to be doing a good job out in the field, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Hill?
I ditto what Philip said.
All right. Dr. Littrell?
I've been here a few years, and I have heard numerous people at the podium ask for water, and it's always disappointing that we can't do it. Most of the time, it's lack of funds. But going forward with the new members next year, I hope that, we can accommodate some of these folks because they do desperately need water. And I've always been saddened that we aren't able to do that.
And, yeah, I'll ditto what Philip said, and Dr. Littrell, there've been a lot of people in that area have contacted me, wanting, I think, Dana had mentioned Virginia usually there, they want to develop that strip of woods there, and then I think there's a big need down Sylvata Smith down through there also, but yeah, it is, it's tough because it's one thing a lot of us take for granted, but that's all. This time I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.